In terms of 3-wood setup, I think just be careful to get too close. That was actually further away than you were. So you actually, I mean, you were moving probably from kind of there to about there. I mean,
Okay.
a little bit further that way. So, but your gap between here and there was getting quite close. Now, if you haven't got much space for your arms to go, then you're going to try to, again, really, you're going to be narrow anyway. So if you're bringing your arms in here and got no space and there's no place to start with, your arms got nowhere to go. So you're going to get some really, really funky shots, okay? So just gives a bit more space there with the through. Like I say, in terms of positions that you're creating, going back here now, lovely. And then the face-on position with the iron. Okay, nice turn the shoulders there, club going back, nice little one-piece hinge of the wrist starting to happen there now. Halfway back here now, very good. On plane, so some good positions here now, we're making some good spots there. Top of the backswing, getting that club online, and we're getting a full 90-degree wrist hinge. So there, we're in a position now where we can return that club back to the golf ball, okay? What you've got to try and do is maintain that height as the hands are starting to fall down. What you sometimes did was drop. Now, this on the left-hand side, if I sort of zoom in here, this one here now, as you started unwinding, you can see now there's a smidgen of a drop, but a lot less than it was, okay? Before, back your head from the previous 7-iron was probably, if we sort of think that's the top of your head there, by the time you got down to about here with your hand, your head had dropped down kind of towards there. So as you're coming down this golf ball here now, we're kind of halfway between that sort of top of your head position there now, as you come into it, okay? And then you've got space now for your arms to swing through and release through, okay? When you dropped it all looked a bit kind of like tucked up, there's no space.
Drop at all? Or should you make it as much
There's
as
going to be a little bit, truth be told. You're not going to, I mean...
But is my aim to try...
I think if when you did the sort of the dropping or the bopping, when you did this sort of drill here now, there's no sort of head movement at all. Now this was a little bit cast, as you can see. Now at this point here now, you want the hands to be coming down kind of here and then maintain the wrist angle there. So this position here now, what I would like to see is more the club out that way, okay? Now the thing is, you're not trying to pull that club, it's just maintain that wrist angle. So I think in some ways what you've got to try to, I think for you, the reason, what might be potentially, it sounds daft, where you're losing the feeling is there. As in, where's the club? I think at the top of the backswing here now, it's probably more based on arms and chest and torso movement. As you hit the golf ball, firmly with the hands are the key element in the game of golf. So if you're doing this and you're not sure where your wrist is going to go from here and then go from here, you haven't got that. So I think it's working on this movement here with maybe just do some right hand swings where you kind of feel from there now, here. Just feel the arm dropping, that sort of bopping drop, and then hit it that way. I think in some ways some sort of tennis shots, like some tennis rackets, just get the racket, just get the feeling of how you'd hit a tennis racket. You wouldn't want to kind of bring your arm in here or overcast the racket that way. So get the feeling more with the wrist and then what your hands and arms, because this game, I think with a lot of any of the racket ball sports and stuff, is hands and arms sort of control. What can you do with your hands and arms? Your body's going to be part of that swing, obviously. And if there's issues with the body dropping and standing up and doing other functional movements, then it's going to be difficult. But your hands and arms are what control the golf club. So when you come down with a 3-wood here now, there's a good unwind of the body there now. So you come back into a really good position. From there now, that's really good. Yeah, it's really good. From there now, I think it's just that sort of swish of the club with your right hand. But what you tend to do here now is get a bit pulley with the arms. At this position now, you can see that club there now. If you look at all the good ball strikers, what they would say, if you were to look at that position there now, and if I just sort of show that so you can sort of maybe screen grab at home, their club would be kind of down there. You wouldn't see that club unless they're in like a sort of knockdown punchy wedge. They'd have released that club to here. So as they come through here now, you can see it's kind of almost like trying to hold the club face. So your hands are kind of doing that as opposed to that sort of that release of the club, which is why I think it's a little bit steep. So from here now, that position here where you've got the wrist hinge, you want to sit on the other side. That club should have caught up. So if it's kind of here, we want to sit there. What you've got is here and then that way. So it's kind of almost that way. And if I do that, you can see it's going to get quite chunky on the mat. I'm here, there, there. So there's a drill perhaps just to get a feeling of that hand action. We've got a line there and stuff, so you get a sort of club over that sort of toe line there now and just go from here now. Check that. And that's kind of what we're looking for here as at the golf ball. So my hands are kind of work on a gentle arc here. The clubs work on that same arc, but going from there to there. What you do is that. bit more. So
Okay.
that kind of makes sense there, and that's why I think you leave the club face open with your long clubs.
Yeah.
Leaks that right when you've got loft in your hand, and you can, if I'm honest, you do slightly turn the club face in with your irons. You can't do with your woods because they're flat. They sit flat on the ground, but your irons you can turn them in. So you start with a slightly closed club, which I've mentioned I think before,
Yeah.
and that kind of then comes back to being open at impact or opens to square,
Yeah.
so your irons are pretty good. And then when you get 3-wood and drive, it's a bit cutty. So we can get that feeling of how the hands actually work.
So should I start more square?
Ideally, I would say wait till you start hitting pulls or hooks and then go back to square. Otherwise, you hit the ball miles. Yeah, you have to be like suicidal. But yeah, keep the club face to start with in the same position with your irons, okay? But it's getting that feeling. So when your club is here, it's a good position there now on the way back. Good position on the way down there. So you're getting into good positions. It's from there now, that transition, that's where you're losing it.
Okay.
In basically the most important part of the golf swing, isn't it? So get that club from here, there.
Yeah.
What does that feel like, okay? And you can again put maybe hit the alignment sticks on the ground.
Yeah.
If you put alignment sticks kind of over your hands here, what we want to see from here is club over your alignment stick.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of a bit of a funny angle. Also, it's going off an angle. You see, your hands are pulled in left rather than down that way.
So you draw the hands there. So almost like the hands and the clubs are changing
Yeah,
places.
from here to here. Exactly. Yeah, just here to here. What you've got is here to that way.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Excellent. Good man.